up next, we have another speaker. His name is Gene Ho, and he was the personal photographer for President Trump in 2016. And today, he's the photographer for the Trump campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gene Ho.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, first let's make sure I'm in the right place here. Make sure I'm in the right place here. Are there any Donald J. Trump fans in the house?
Yeah!
All right, I love it. Let's make sure I'm in the right place. Are there any Melania Trump fans in the house?
Yeah!
Just one more to make sure. Are there any Hillary Rodham Clinton fans in the house? They called me out on that. They said, Gene, have you ever personally met Hillary Rodham Clinton? I had to say no. I never met her, but I have proof I never met her because I'm still alive. I'm still alive. All right, best job ever. I was Donald Trump's personal campaign photographer for 2 years. So give it up for that, first of all. Give it up. And then now, probably just as good, I'm the personal photographer for Diamond and Silk. Are any Diamond and Silk fans in the house? I knew Diamond and Silk before they even became famous. So here's the thing, the campaign called me by my first and last name together. My first name is Gene, my last name is Ho. But every time the campaign saw me, they were always using my first and last name together. They go, oh, Gene Ho is here. Gene Ho is going to take our picture. Gene Ho is here. Okay, Diamond and Silk think my name is Gino. For 2 years, I never challenged them. I thought they were flirting with me, right? So finally one day, Silk calls me up on the phone and she goes, Gino, baby. What's up, Silk? What are you doing? Gino, baby, we want you to take our picture with Donald Trump, and this picture is going into Time Magazine, right? I was a photographer for 25 years. Time Magazine's a big deal, right? Give it up for that. So it actually happened. So what ended up happening is I took pictures of Diamond and Silk and President Trump, and this picture was the best picture, and it went into Time Magazine, and I'll tell you what, it was one of the most proud moments of my life, right? Could you imagine that? But then, for every 2 weeks after that, I have to go to the grocery store and look for the Time Magazine, because I'm certainly not going to subscribe to that dumb magazine, right? So I have to go to the grocery store, and every week I'm like, oh, is it in this issue? Oh, no. Is it in this issue? Oh, no. Finally, 8 weeks later, I finally did it. My picture in Time Magazine, published photographer in Time Magazine, give it up for me, right? So then I'm getting ready to show off to my mom, and I'm getting ready to frame it, and I scroll down and it says, photo credit by Gino Ho. So everyone's always asking me, I told this story earlier in the day, everyone's asking me, Gene, how in the world did you get a job taking pictures for Donald Trump? That's pretty good if you think about it. Well, here's the thing, I've been a photographer for 25 years, and during that time I had a big photography studio. It was just really big, and I was in all the magazines, so the photography magazines had me all in there. And so a lot of people knew who I was, but the thing is, I never did anything with politics. Really, just a here and there, but nothing really with politics. So this magazine hires me to do an event, and at this event there was people there I never knew. Ted Cruz was in this event. You guys know who Ted Cruz is, right? Yeah. Good guy. Even better than that, there was a guy there named Ben Carson. Any Ben Carson fans, right? So I get there, and it was the best thing ever because Donald Trump is there. And I'm like freaking out that Donald Trump is there. So I'm going there, and I go, the best thing ever, Donald Trump's people knew who I was. So they're just freaking out. They said, Gene Ho is here. Gene Ho is taking our pictures. Mr. Trump, Gene Ho is here. And then Donald Trump says, who in the hell is Gene Ho? So they say, okay, Gene, we want you to meet Donald Trump. So I actually said, oh my goodness, I would love to. And they invited me onto the plane. So I actually got a chance to go on Donald Trump's plane. And here's the key to meeting Donald Trump. If you ever want to impress Donald Trump, easiest thing to do is just pretend like, you know, it's no big deal. So I walk onto the plane. Hello, Mr. Trump, how are you doing today? And meanwhile, I'm texting my wife, I can't believe it, I'm on the plane. The best thing ever, and then they ended up asking me to go onto the plane, and then afterwards they say, Gene, would you like to follow around Donald Trump for the day? And I was like, yes, you can be his personal photographer for the day. So here's the thing, it was the best thing ever, and then we're in the green room. So it's me, Donald Trump, and Corey Lewandowski. Guys, you remember who Corey Lewandowski is? Great guy. So we're all hanging out, and we're hanging out in the back room, and then suddenly I hear a knock on the door. Hold on, Mr. Trump, I'll get this. So I open the door, and it's the kitchen staff, and the guy says, Gene, we heard that Donald Trump was in there. Is there any way I can get a picture of him? And I was like, yeah, no problem, no problem. So I say to Donald Trump, I say, hey, Mr. Trump, there is someone out there from the kitchen staff. Could he get a picture with you? And he's like, no problem. So I go to this guy, I say, okay, Donald Trump has it talking a little bit, but you come in. And he goes like this, he goes, is there any way that I can get a video of him telling me that I'm fired? Hold up, you know, just so you know, this is my first day at work. If you want to ask him, you can go ask him, but I'm not going to do it. So come on in. So he goes there, and it was the best thing ever. He takes his picture, and then he goes like this. Mr. Trump, can I get a video of you saying that I'm fired? No problem. Okay, ready? You're fired. And the guy goes, no. You have to use my name. You have to use my name. No problem. Okay, go. Jonathan, you're fired. And then he goes, hold up, I was on photo and not video. So it was the most amazing thing. So the guy leaves, and I'm like freaking out. And I said, Mr. Trump, just so you know, it's only us in this room. I've done a lot of celebrities before, and most people would have told that guy to go to hell. And I'm just like totally impressed with you. And Donald Trump said, good. Now you're fired. So then I go, Mr. Trump, I got to make a confession here. I actually know very well who you are and how I bought all your books. And I have to say, I liked you before, but now I can honestly say that I love you. And he said, Gene, we're gonna get along because you love me and I love me. So everyone's always asking me, and I'll tell this one story, everyone's always asking me, they say, Gene, what is the best thing? Because I was there, I took pictures for Trump for 2 years, saw everything, I saw how big it grew from the early beginnings to how big it became, and everyone's always asking me, they say, Gene, what is the best thing that happened during the campaign? I'm thinking, oh, well, you know what, all these people that I got to meet, and I got to see Donald Trump and all this stuff, but here's, I told this story earlier, this is crazy. The best thing that ever happened was that I saw the campaign grow from the smallest time to the biggest time. And during this time, I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So everyone from my small town was like, oh my goodness, this is so awesome, you're Trump's photographer. And then a year later, I'm still on the campaign, and then Trump visits Myrtle Beach. So he's gonna go to Myrtle Beach. I'm like, oh, I'm the man now. And everyone's calling me up, oh, could you get us tickets? Could you get us tickets? And I'm the big shot in my own town. But then someone goes to me, he goes, hey, Gene, what does it take for me to get the seat right in front of Trump? So Trump is talking right here, I want this seat here. I'm like, dude, I can't do that. I can't do that. He goes, no. Name your price. And this is a guy, this is a doctor in Myrtle Beach. A doctor. He's like, name your price. I'm like, I can't take money from it. But anyway, you're a doctor, right? He goes, yeah, no, really, name your price, but I want to be right here, and Donald Trump is right in front of me giving the talk. In a big, this big place. I go, all right. He goes, name your price. I said, okay. How about this? You are a doctor, right? He goes, yeah. You know I have 4 children, right? He goes, yeah. I'll get you front row seats there. In exchange, you give me a free vasectomy. He goes, done. I did it. I bartered a free vasectomy for front row seats. I am the only one in America that can say, Donald Trump has made my sex life great again. Thank you very much. Overall, though, I have to say that it was the greatest experience, and I want to tell a story about what Donald Trump is really like. Because here's the thing, I saw what the lying media was saying about him. And he was constantly, the worst thing that they said is that he was a racist. And to me, I couldn't believe it, because I was there from the beginning. And I'm Chinese, and my son is biracial. And I tell you this, I was there the whole time, and there was press conferences. Like I'm standing here, Trump is standing here, and the press was as big as this room here, and they're like, Mr. Trump, why are you such a racist? And I'm standing right behind him. What am I, Chinese collusion? What's going on here? But I saw how Donald Trump treated people. One of my jobs was to be backstage taking pictures of Donald Trump. And during that time, there was VIPs in the room. It was a room about half the size of this. And there was all these celebrities in the room. And I saw Donald Trump time and time again after that. He would walk into the room, bypass all the celebrities, and go straight to the back of the room where the men in uniform were, and he would shake all their hands first, and then go back to everyone. That is our great American president. We have a great president, but here's the thing. During this time that I was working for Donald Trump, I was part of the silent majority. I had a big company. 25 photographers for a company. That's a big company for photography. And here's the thing. All of my people that were working for me were all liberals. So during this time, I was part of the silent majority. And maybe you were too. But all my employees would say, why in the world could you be with this guy? He's a homophobe. He's a racist. He's a xenophobe. How in the world could you be supporting this guy? And so during this time, when this happened, I said to myself, you know what? Guys, I was part of the silent majority. I said, guys, don't worry about it. It's just a job. This means nothing. I'm just doing my job. Just doing my job. And I stayed silent. But the night before the election, I had one more job that I was doing. I did the last event before the election, and that night I went home and I took my Facebook profile and changed it from private to public, and I endorsed Donald Trump. And you guys remember, the next day we had the best day ever with Donald Trump as president. Give it up for the president. But here's the thing, and this is my message for us. Right after, I thought it was going to be the best day and the best years of my life. But in fact, it was the opposite. My photographers started to quit on me because I supported Donald Trump. The other thing is people started to boycott me. People started to boycott my business, and people ask me all the time, how in the world can someone boycott a photographer? And it's very simple. We're in a resort, and in this resort, people get married in places like this. But then people go and say, hey, we're getting married here. Can we see your preferred vendors list? And then they see my name on it, and they say, oh, that's gross. You have Gene Ho in here? He supports a racist, so what does it say about this place? And that's how they do boycotts. And so I saw my income grow lower and lower and lower. But the thing is, the interesting thing is, I have been a photographer for 25 years. During that time, I have never been audited by the IRS. I got audited the first time when I started working for Donald Trump, and then the second time after Trump won, I got audited again. My CPA said that this was the worst audit that she has ever seen in her 40 years. It went on for 9 months. Most audits go on for about 2 months at the tops, maybe 3 months. Could you imagine an audit lasting for 9 months? I was going broke at the time. I didn't know what to do. And I know the magic number, guys. $50,000 is the magic number. And if you have a company as big as I have, $50,000 is nothing. They just go through your receipts and they say, wow, this doesn't qualify, that's $1,000. This doesn't qualify, this doesn't count. Let's see the receipts for this and this. And the numbers kept creeping up and creeping up. And it was scary because we were treated like common criminals, and we kept quiet at the time. Because, you know, here I am, this big shot photographer, and meanwhile, I'm going broke, and at the same time, I'm thinking that I'm going to go to jail for tax evasion. So, at the 9-month mark, we had one final audit where I had to show up. And we said we would meet at my CPA's office. So it was me, my CPA, and the IRS agent. And the IRS agent was from the whole, it wasn't just a local one, it was like the regional one. And so it was the worst time of my life, and I didn't know what to do. So I pulled up a 4th chair, and I always heard, even though maybe I didn't even believe it in my heart, that Jesus saved. But I said, Jesus, please sit in this chair and just watch what they're doing to me. And it was after that time, and my wife is here to tell the story and confirm it. The investigation on me went away. The IRS forgave the amount of money that I owed to them. And it was then that I decided to dedicate my life to Jesus Christ.
Wow.
So now, we was talking earlier, I talked to some friends, and during the campaign and before that, I used to spend a lot of time away from my family. Even before the campaign, I was traveling as a photographer, working all the time. During the campaign, I was traveling and working all the time. But one of the things I saw was everyone keeps asking me, what was Melania Trump like on the campaign? What was Melania like? And I found out that I hardly ever talked to Melania, and I only saw her every once in a while, because she was at home with her son Barron and raising Barron. And meanwhile, at the time when I was in the campaign, I was making some good money. My children were all in private school. And during the time they were in private school, I also had a full-time nanny. And I'm thinking, here's a billionaire, and his wife is staying at home with his children, even though he can easily afford the best people around him. So now, after all this happened, now I travel around the country doing events just like this with my wife and my children, and I tell you what, I'm happier than ever before. So before I go, I just wanted to mention that there's a new movie on Sunday, actually tomorrow at 11, where they had QCon today. There's an event there if you want to see the new movie, Gotta Love Trump. If not, there's only, by the way, there's only like 48 seats, or probably less than that now there, but tomorrow is part of the thing. If you want to go there, it's $10. The movie is also over there, and my book is there, and that's how people support us, my wife. We go around selling our book. The book is, if some of you already bought it, and I appreciate that. But if you do buy the book, it's $30. We even have that credit card swipey thing. But if you haven't, pay cash so I don't have to report it to the IRS. Kidding, kidding, kidding. But overall, remember, we have an election coming in 17 days. So one of the things, the key to what we're doing is now we can no longer remain silent anymore. The silent majority is over now. It is time for us to stand up, stand strong, and by doing so, we will elect our great American president in Donald Trump. Thank you very much.
Yeah.